You little rascal! I'm mad at you at the moment, Linka. Do you know that? I would like to call her some very bad words.
Yeah, 2 degrees. It's gonna be a tough one, but I will figure it out. I know I will.
She has a very specific ball that she likes. When I throw it to her, when she gets distracted, she runs away with the ball, drops it, and continues exploring. And now I have to search the ball. And it's a freaking 10-euro ball. She was so out of hand today, so I thought I will burn off some energy with her by throwing the ball. And now I'm looking the ball, not her. Jesus Christ, where is it? Where the hell is this ball? Well, look at that. Why do I have to look for your ball? Lincoln! Oh no! Don't do it! Don't do it! Aye. There's animal shit there. Ooh, I can smell it. And now you didn't find your ball. I'm not gonna reward you. Usually we have a really nice morning routine that even if I don't run the dogs in the morning, they chill and like at least 2-3 hours just sleeping after the breakfast. But Linka has been really off today. She didn't want breakfast, and yes, my darling, yes, you are a sweetie pie. You are a sweetie pie. It's a little bit distracting when the routine isn't like we usually have it. Oh, and now my battery is dead. That's another annoying thing. My extra battery is so small that I can't work for a long time on the computer without starting the engine again, which is fine. It takes 15 minutes to charge the battery, but still, so small things. No, we're gonna get over them. It's gonna be a good day. Looking back at the footage now, I realized that most likely Linka was feeding off of my energy that I was giving out at that time, because I was actually feeling very anxious, confused and uncertain. And let me explain why. I have been thinking of doing a really long winter hike for months now. Actually, ever since I finished my last year's pulka hike with Linka, where I was in the Swedish mountains for 4 days. After that, I decided I want to do something similar but much longer. But for the longest time, I thought I can't take Odessa with me. But as I have seen her on our training runs, I realized she's totally up to it. The only thing that was keeping me back was how to do it safely. Because last year, when I was only out with Linka, I already had a lot of trouble with the sled and going down hills. It was actually quite dangerous. But having 2 sled dogs that are pulling, I definitely needed something more substantial, at least a sled with brakes on. But I had zero idea how to get one, where to get one, and so on. So this takes to us the point where I filmed all of this footage. Few days before that, I stumbled upon a blog post where somebody had gone to a pulk hike with 3 dogs, and I saw image of their sled and they had DIY'd like a brake onto their pulk sled. It wasn't like this proper dog sledding sled, but like a plastic pulk sled. And I was so excited because if somebody has done it, it means it is doable. And taking the reference from this very pixelated image, I figured out I can DIY a pulk sled as well. And this made me unbelievably happy because this confirmed I can go on this winter hike with 2 of my dogs. After the initial euphoria had settled down, the realization of how much preparation I still need to do settled in. And what is this hike that I really want to do? It is the Kungsleden Trail, the King's Trail, that is situated in north of Sweden, that goes through Swedish wilderness and mountain areas, and it is about 450 kilometers long. We would be on the trail for about 3.5 weeks, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. It will all depend, but it is a long ass time in the winter time. And you might be thinking what kind of winter hike it is in April, but that's the thing. The trail is so up north, half of it is above the Arctic Circle, so the best time to do any kind of winter hiking activities in this area is in March and in April. So this is where we are at. I'm really confused. I'm unsure of how all of this will play out practically. It really kicked in that I only had 1.5 months to figure all of this out, and at the same time I was in Spain. I was 4,000 kilometers away from my home, from Estonia, where I have most of the resources that I could use to make all of this happen. At the end, I just needed to decide if I will stay in Spain for another few weeks, like I planned originally, or if I start driving back to Estonia. And the decision sounds really clear at the moment, but at that time my thoughts were not organized or clear at all, because now I have had time to think about it and, make it all clear for myself. But at that time I was confused. Although I hadn't made up my mind completely yet to start driving through Europe at once, I did end up driving 4 hours on that day towards north of Spain. The day itself continued as it started, not good. It was that kind of day when all of the small things seem to go wrong. The coffee burns your tongue, the dogs misbehave, you can't find a good campsite, and even the pancakes that I made ended up being messed up. If this isn't a representation of my state at the moment. What is this? I'm feeling really shitty now. I know it's because of the driving. I know it's because of what? I know it's because I haven't washed my hair for a week. I know it's because, I'm a little bit hungry. I ate something, but I don't have a lot of food. Nay! This is my last piece of butter. You can't eat it. Nay. Okay. So a beautiful start to the week. And it's raw. I don't care. Who knows? Maybe by the end of this video I will be in Estonia. I actually like this idea. And at that exact moment, for friends, this is where I realized I actually really want to be back in Estonia. So I would have as much as preparation time as possible for the big upcoming hike. Good morning. Whew. So I came back with the dogs from the run and I was cold. Yeah, 2 degrees. But I was chilly. But we made good pace today. When it's cold, I see that they pull more and they
they work more. We did 15 kilometers, so that's good. Whew, okay, but we need to move because I'm cold. Yesterday, I decided that I will start driving back to Estonia. Not as fast as possible because I don't want to kill myself with driving, especially now that I haven't done it for a while. Like, I need to get used to it a little bit. I feel very excited about this decision, and it is funny how, things that I don't want will guide me to the things that I do want more clearly. So yes, let's start driving back. Exciting. Driving long hours is hard for me, but once I get used to it, it gets easier every day. So my plan was to start out with 4-hour driving days, and once I reach the border of France and Spain, I will ramp up the driving and drive straight through Europe. I did a quick stop at the grocery store where they have the most convenient laundry machines and I love them. So I put on a load and then went to do a little shopping trip myself to buy some food because I was really running low on supplies. I found our campsite for the night at a national park, and to be honest, I shouldn't be there because overnight camping is not allowed in Spanish national parks. But it was off season and I didn't see absolutely anybody there, so I just stayed the night. Mostly just because I found a trail close by that I wanted to use for running the dogs in the morning. In any other time, I would have stayed at this region for many days. The area itself was just magical and there were so many interesting looking hiking trails all around. But I was feeling really antsy, and after a quick morning run with the dogs, where, by the way, they broke the bike's back reflector by crashing it into a bridge when I didn't pay attention because I was taking photos, we continued driving. I drove another 4 hours along the east coast of Spain and we camped at an official free camper van parking lot. It was unfortunately next to a busy kids playground, but staying there wasn't too bad or too loud as I initially thought. In the evening the things got calmer and we were surprised by a beautiful sunset colors with surprising mountains at the background. And I'm telling you, I'm really impressed by mountains, and especially when they pop up unexpected, because I thought I'm in the plain lands of Spain, but no, there were mountains at the background. So beautiful. The next morning, surprise, surprise, we took another run with the dogs. I took 2 days off driving for editing break and I drove minimally at that time. After finishing the editing and uploading the video, I was ready to power through Europe. Normally, I would avoid highways and especially toll roads, but because I was determined to reach Estonia as fast as possible, I accepted my fate and chose the fast and convenient, but also super boring and sometimes expensive roads. I've been driving for 2 hours and I already feel like hammered. Yeah, there's nothing else to say, but I'm taking a break in this gas station rest stop area and I wanted to show you, like, manage your expectations when you're traveling with the van. Like, there's nothing pretty about that, which is fine, that's the real life. But don't expect to have mountain views and like steaming coffee cups with naked women in the bed. That's what you usually see on Instagram. Driving faster than I normally do revealed that my roof racks are not so aerodynamic and they made this absolutely awful vibration noise that I just couldn't stand in the cockpit. So I removed the front rack only to put it back the next day because I realized it's just so big that I can't store it inside of the van. Luckily, by positioning the rack more at the back of the roof helped, and it didn't make this awful vibration noise anymore. Soon after reaching France, I had a very unpleasant surprise when trying to reach a dog park in a nearby town. I have realized I made a mistake. It is 5 o'clock. I assume this is out of the office traffic jam I am in at the moment. Trying to get to a town, to a dog park. Because the dogs, they're sleeping their entire day. I want to let Linka loose a little bit. And now I'm in a traffic jam. I hate traffic. I hate it. I hate it. If there's anything that I've learned on this trip, of course I've learned a lot of things, but one thing is I do not want to live in a place where there's like traffic, like a big city, suburb, nothing like that. It doesn't, no. I know you will get used to the traffic like a little bit and driving, but no, it just doesn't feel good. I survived the traffic and Linka got to play around with other dogs and we saw this beautiful sunset. Look at that. All in all, driving through France was an okay experience if I would not take into account the obscene amount of highway tolls that I had to pay. But this was the road that I chose, so after 900 kilometers and 2 days, I was quite happy to reach Germany and its free motorways. This refilling was painful. What happened to the gas prices? Yeah, I got a really cheap tank filled in Spain. It was 100 euros per full tank. Now it's 130 here. Like, what happened? What? This is the only thing that is really painful. No, this is one of the many things that is painful. Driving long distances, like just the tank just empties somehow, so quickly. Okay, we can do it. We can do it. This video will end by my slow ascent to madness. No, I wanted to wash my front screen. Right after reaching Germany, I parked at a truck stop right at the border, and I didn't actually plan to run the dogs in the morning, but I realized there was just this perfect bike trail close by, right at the edge of the Rhine River, and I just had to use the opportunity to tire out the dogs for another long driving day. Oh, such a perfect trail, and I really cracked the code with a coffee. The trail was so nice and smooth, so I could, I knew I could drink it, and it was nice. The only thing was my fingers are freezing, but I'm used to that already, so not a big deal anymore. Oh, I always have the best thoughts on the bike in the morning, because I'm not listening to any music or anything, because I need to be aware of what's going on with the environment and the traffic. And today was a really good thinking session. I figured some things out with my winter hike, with the gear. With this kind of winter hiking, like mini expedition, the gear is tough nut to crack. It's quite expensive, and I don't have everything, especially the sleeping bag and the tent. I figured something out with the sleeping bag. Now I need to figure out the tent, but I'm hopeful. This is, it's gonna be a tough one, but I will figure it out. I know I will. I love these runs, especially when the trail is nice. Okay, girls, do you wanna have some food? Breakfast time. It's 10 o'clock already. I crossed Germany in 2 days, and 900 kilometers later we entered Poland. This will be a sad coffee. Look at that. Can you see it? There's hardly any coffee left. I'm so at the end of the trip that I'm not resupplying anything. I'm keeping all of the money to the gas because the prices are crispy. But we're in Poland, and I am, listen to this, excited to go driving again because, and you know what's the trick? It's audiobooks, and I need to find like an audiobook that's very exciting, so I want to listen to it. The book that has carried me through for the majority of this trip has been Michael Palin, From Pole to Pole, and I started with 80 Days Around the World. Anyway, it has been really exciting to listen to these audiobooks, and you have to find like a really exciting one, and I downloaded some yesterday evening and I'm super excited to listen to them. This day we had one of our longest driving days so far. We covered 600 kilometers in only 8 hours. We took a break in the middle where I ran the dogs with the bike for 15 kilometers in this really nice Polish forest. I think the effort that I put into finding suitable roads to train the dogs on was a crucial part of this whole road trip through Europe, because the dogs did fantastic. They just calmly slept the entire time when we were driving. In the evening I parked at a McDonald's parking lot and I saw my first snowfall in 10 months. Even Odessa, who has seen more snow than green grass during her entire lifetime, was a little bit confused. This is my first snow after 10 months. And although it doesn't sound a lot, it's a lot because, you know, I lived in the snow for 2 years and I loved it. But there's something about the morning sunshine and crispy air and white ground. Oh, it makes me smile. So today is the last day of driving. Hopefully I can reach back to Estonia today. We have a long day ahead and I want to start driving ASAP. And I don't have almost any food left that I can do quickly and eat on the road. So I think I'm gonna treat myself to a McDonald's. Although it's not a treat for me, actually I don't like McDonald's, but as I'm parking next to it, and thankfully nobody came to disturb me yesterday, because I was a little bit afraid that it's not a place that you should actually sleep. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take a little McDonald's and start driving. I got a lot of stuff. I got a breakfast and I also got a little bit like something sort of a lunch that I can eat on the road, and it was cheap. I like Poland. Okay. And so we came to our last driving day. To be honest, by that time I was used to driving long days again, and the prospect of driving 7 hours didn't scare me at all. In fact, I was actually looking forward to it, mostly because I started to listen to this super interesting and exciting audiobook, Endurance, that is described the 1915 expedition to Antarctica. And I am not exaggerating. This has been the most exciting and suspenseful and interesting book that I have ever listened to or read. By far, absolutely. And so, accompanied by the unbelievably tough Ernst Shackleton and his crew, I drove through Lithuania and then Latvia and arrived in Estonia in the darkness. Finally, after 6 days, 6 countries and 4,000 kilometers later, I arrived home. Okay, we have finally arrived. I am very tired, but we made it. Yeah, that was right, and I actually can't believe that I'm already back. But now the real work begins, the real preparation for the hike. So
cheers to that next period. Okay, I have a warm sauna waiting for me. I can't wait to see my family after months apart. Yes, okay, I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, one last thing. I finished the book Endurance, and there is no other story that will top this book. If you wanna listen or read about men who will like how they like I don't have words for this journey and for this book. Anyway, if you want to have some adventure reading and you don't want to put the book down until it's finished, a warning for that. Read this book, it's unbelievable, or listen to it. The reading performance, immaculate, really good, really, really good. Okay, that's that. I just wanted to get it out there. Read this book, listen to this book, it's amazing.